Welcome back, you guys. This is Syndra, continuing my HOI4 Kaiserreich campaign as Canada. Now, we've just been getting into, well, basically, we're still in February, so it's been very slow. Canada starts out in pretty bad shape. We have no manpower, and our industry is, well, we're getting there. We're getting there on the industry, basically because my army is so small. The equipment requirements for it are quite low as well, but I don't have enough to build an army. Like the industry and the manpower to build an army aren't there yet. We are gonna have to get rid of some of this. We need more people, and not right now. We're drafting this bill, but we are gonna veto it. We're gonna not make it pass because we need manpower, and I'm expecting another one of these draft decisions to happen again any second now. Oh, also, you guys have been merged up. So you guys have... Oh, these are level 1 carriers, so they're not completely shit. They got a normal deck size of 45. There's a pre-Weld Creek carrier that some people have that start with a deck of 10 planes. They're completely unusable. So I'm gonna have... Oh, we got some good dudes. Of course we do. We're playing as Canada. Actually, we gotta sort this shit out. So I'm gonna do submarines. Get out of here. So what do I want to do? I want to get rid of the battleships and the carriers. And you guys, I need you to split in half. Okay. And then... So, let's see here. Where are the... Oh, they went into a fleet of their own. So, let's break off the submarines. Let's just call you submarine fleet. And you go away, and I'm going to split off the battleships. Yeah. So, basically what I want, and I want to take half of the screening ships and merge them up with different dudes. So, this is going to be one fleet, Atlantic Fleet, the one with the carriers. And then these guys, for some reason, joined the submarines again. You go away, and then you go here. Okay. I'm just going to call it Atlantic Fleet 2. Uh-huh. So now we got a fleet of 12 submarines, one of carriers, and one of battleships. So, let's give you some dudes. We got a Sea Wolf. Okay. The carriers are gonna get a Ironside. No. There should be... Oh, we don't have one. I thought I had an admiral with sortie efficiency. Let's just go with spotter and superior tactician. And you are gonna get Ironside. I like this. So these guys have been made. I'm gonna make this your submarine fleet too. Let's take a look at it. It's pre-Weld Creek boats, so fuck off. Those submarines are actually unusable. They are complete and utter garbage. I'm not even gonna try to use them. You have no range at all here, man. I'm so tempted to just scrap all this pre-Weld Creek shit. Okay. Oh, what the fuck? What? No, 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 no. I just did the same thing again. Let's just take the good ones out. Okay. So we got 5 ships here that are usable. And these other guys are all pre-Wild Creek. I'm just gonna get rid of this fleet. I'm sorry. So we got Pacific Fleet over here. Oh, what? No, I pressed backspace. Pacific Fleet. I'm gonna give you this guy, and you're just gonna patrol. No, 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 wrong button. Patrol. On the northwest coast. Yeah, like this. Do what you can over there. Now, these submarines, are they also that bad? They are. Well, goodbye. So we've got 4 usable submarines here. I think I'm going to keep the scrap here because I can actually sail these ships to use them. These guys over here were useless. Now, I'm not going to use these submarines to do anything right now. I'm just going to leave them in dock. So we got Atlantic Fleet is going to do patrols. Here. Here and here. And I'm going to base you out of Nova Scotia. Okay. That is the Atlantic Fleet 1. Atlantic Fleet 2. I'm going to base you out of... Probably the same, to be honest. For now. Yeah. Like that. And let's unpause. So the ships have been dealt with. These guys are just going to wait there. And let's see here. Production. Now, we need to make this a bit more complicated. So, we got Destroyer. So, Atlantic Fleet 1 and 2. And then Pacific Fleet. And then let's make some submarines for the submarine fleet. Alright. This has been sorted out. Okay, fine. So we have some capital ships and some carriers with some decent screens on this side. Even though those screening ships are, well, they're not that great. Let's be honest. They're not that great. But, yeah. IEDC investments spur economic growth. The investments of the Imperial Economic Development Corporation throughout the dominions of the Empire have led to an increase in economic productivity and prosperity. 150 days of more cap and more resources. Okay. Does that mean I can cancel one of my trades? Yes, it does. Thank you. That's one more factory. For 150 days, we can use this factory for building. We got 7 of them building. There's the first International Congress. Okay, so we got 20 days left of this bill. They don't even have an icon? I know it's a temporary icon, but you could have had anything. Just put any icon on this. Conscription riots. In Montreal and Quebec City, riots have broken out to protest conscription. Quebecois object to being forced to serve the Canadian Army to fight a foreign war. Gains national spirit riots in Quebec, which grants factory output -20. Recruited population -3. Is that only in Quebec? No, that's just everywhere. So we gotta focus. We gotta fix that. I just lost all my manpower. Okay, it's 1936. Let's just take all the basic stuff. The Stanley Cup, isn't that a hockey thing? 2 teams have made it to the Stanley Cup finals, the Detroit Red Wings and the Toronto Maple Leafs. The winner of this game will be the 1936 NHL champions and will receive the Stanley Cup. So there's a chance we might win this and get something out of it, right? We win, and we get 5 political power. I'm not even going to bother reading that. 5 political power for hockey? Well, actually, like, hockey is like the only sport Canada has, I'm told. I'm probably wrong, but whatever. I don't know Canada that much. I'm sorry, guys. Oh. Parliament votes on final draft of Bill C7. The Bill C7 is now being examined by the House of Lords. The government is doing all it can to make it pass, offering rewards and bargaining with individual members in exchange for a favorable vote. The bill is killed. Today, the leader of His Majesty's loyal opposition, R.B. Bennett, was summoned for an informal meeting with King Edward VIII at his residence in Ottawa. What was discussed there is not yet known, but Bennett was reported to have organized a meeting of his shadow cabinet soon afterwards. The king has lost confidence in the rebels and supports Bennett. The royal power belongs to the king and he wishes to exercise his royal prerogatives. That was the thing, right? Royal prerogatives. Oh, there we go. The Weltkrieg and the revolution that came in its aftermath has revealed the failed weaknesses of liberalism. Now is the time to set aside frivolous pretense of equality and return power to the one divinely ordained to wield it, the king. Long live the king. Yeah, this is gonna go great. It's gonna be awesome. Okay. Nicholas. Mr. Stanley Baldwin resigns. Today, influential figure in the pre-revolutionary British politics and longtime Prime Minister of British government in exile, Stanley Baldwin, resigned from his mostly ceremonial office after the meeting with His Majesty in which Edward VIII notified the Prime Minister of his intention to marry his mistress, Princess Isabel of Orleans. While it's true that the Prime Minister opposed the idea of marriage on the grounds of religion of King's love interest, and the fact that His Majesty's father did not agree to his son's marriage with the princess back in 1930. After the death of her first husband, sources close to the royal court indicate that the real reason of resignation lies in the new king ignoring Mr. Baldwin's advice in favor of Winston Churchill and Lord Beaverbrook, formerly ministers in Lord Curzon's government. I don't know what that is. Edward VIII accepted the resignation and later this day appointed Lord Beaverbrook as the new Prime Minister of Government in Exile. Yeah, that's kind of a useless thing. It's a useless title. Everything belongs to the king. Assert royal prerogatives. The conscription riots end. After lengthy protest, the authorities have regained control of Montreal and Quebec City, bringing an end to conscription riots. Okay, good. Maklik declared war on Mongolia. Are the Tibetans helping this time? Ah, that's too far. That's too much. Oh yeah, there's still a war in Afghanistan. And my planes have been gaining a lot of experience. I'm going to move them closer. Yeah. So. They white pieced. Just as I moved my planes there. And we lost some stability. Okay. Planes, come back. Come. There's 1,000 airport over here, yeah. So we got some air experience over there. I think I'm gonna spend it. I think just on fighters. Yeah. Give me range. Oh wow, we can boost it up by 1. But, you know, whatever. We're not even building them, so it doesn't matter. This is what? This was one of these. It really freaks me out to not see a model in here. I keep thinking my game is bugged. Let's do radio. So we did get something out of that war, but they did white piece it, so not a fan of that. I would have wanted some army experience. Basic machine tools. Let's do dispersed industry because there's really no other choice. The retention is really, really good. The factory bomb vulnerability is meh. And just the base production efficiency. I just like this. They're more diverse. Export focus. Export focus. Yep. New England and Canada. After the British Revolution collapsed the American economy, upstate New York and the states east of it reoriented towards Canada to preserve their economies. Too conservative for syndicalism, but too moderate for America. America first. First, New England has become isolated from the rest of the United States and is now effectively in Ottawa's sphere of influence. Joseph Kennedy, representing the political and business elite of the region, quietly informed us today that should the worst come to pass and the government in Washington prove unable to defend them, the state governments would allow Canadian troops to garrison in them. Ooh, yeah, I remember this. They get Canada and New England for free. Well, mostly for free. That's a lot of steel. So New York is over here, right? Why am I not? So we're talking. Yeah, I think we're talking this and everything over here. I think all of this is New England. Yeah. Oh. Royal prerogatives. By law, a great deal of power is vested into the British monarch. However, over the years, these powers have laid fallow. What? Custom has dictated that the king should not exercise his powers that have been vested in him. Edward VIII has decided that he will change that policy. The only question is how much muscle shall he flex. Responsible government shall be guided by the king. Responsible government shall be led by the king. Nationalist or loyalist? Nationalists are authoritative democracy. Well, loyalists are paternal autocrats. Let's go paternal autocrats. Yeah. Let's see. Low popularity. Nah, that's fine. Oh, we don't have enough civilian factories anymore. Oh, that might be because of stuff. So that's done. Social credit is an economic philosophy that was developed by Clifford Hugh Douglas during the World War. Now that we are in power, we can work to implement these ideas throughout the nation. However, critics have accused social credit of being syndicalist, and as such, it would perhaps be wise to moderate our plans lest they draw anger. Purge the disloyal opposition. Now that the Parliament has been returned to the hands of the Royalists, the time has come to purge the ranks of the ministers and civil service to stifle further opposition. If the nation is to survive and prosper in this dangerous world, it must be united under its king. What? 7% consumer goods factories? But then again, we lose divided government. That is a really bad dude. I hope he dies. I really hope he dies. So we don't have enough factories right now to do anything. Let's take a look here. Profits from legation cities is -5. Sir Ernest Manning, that asshole that I just talked about. And still civilian economy. The civilian economy is the worst by far there. Construction is done. Let's get resources. We could get some more factories indirectly. If more people trade with us, if we have more resources. I think that's how it works. Yeah, we're still going negative. But with divided government gone, we can actually gain a lot of political power. That -0.9 will go away, which is awesome. After that, we go here. We get a lot more recruitable population, and we can actually start training because we get army experience. Thank you so much. We can make our squads actually usable. And we're stockpiling still some stuff. Yeah, we're lower bombers. Oh, I need this, right? I have to get up to 40, don't I? Low popularity, medium popularity. We need to get up to 40. Well, I better start, right? I'm gonna start doing that. Because right now this is draining our political power. So we need this to be positive. Okay, that's done. So our trade should be fucked. And it doesn't matter, we can't trade anymore anyway. Okay, let's cancel this trade. Let's drop this by 1. We got 2 factories now. Yeah, this is fine. I mean, the production is slower, but it's fine. And we lost more stability. Oops. Okay. Purge the disloyal opposition, and we're gaining none. Thank you. Come again. Mandatory enrollment in the cadet corps. And this should be dropping. This should be dropping. There we go. It's gonna drop slowly, but surely. So once this is done, do we go here? No, we need social credit as well. And then we get 150 political power. And I'm guessing this is a decision. Because seeing as both of these can do this, I'm guessing this is going to be a royalist decision and a more democratic decision. It's social credit. It's like social welfare, I think. But with this, most of all, we are going to get stuff to make our divisions good. Ooh, the end of American democracy. It's here. So America is going to break up and New England might be mine. So what do I need to do to start working towards that? Defense of the realm, right? Yeah. This is just forts. That's kind of boring. And this is intervene or support. I think I'm going to intervene. And then maybe go with a PSA. The Maple Line. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. I think we're going to have to deal with America first before we go and take back our motherland. I think that's a plan at least. Yeah, I should import a bit more. I can't. Never mind. So the thing is, the oil is just for the ships, so I can actually just scrap that. Give me that factory back. So we got 1 factory building. And I kind of want more steel. 1 more steel. Yeah, I'm fine with the construction stopping. Once we drop below 250, there's a chance we can get more stab. We can rise in stab. And that way we can get more factories. But this manpower is unusable right now. With this, we're going to get so much more. And we might have to get rid of this, maybe. We can either get rid of this or just get rid of the French people. Maybe. So, God Save the King gives us a lot of political power. Let's just finish this, right? Oh, we got 500. We got 500,000 dudes right now. Okay. This is a division I'm using right now, right? So they have line artillery. I'm going to make this into a normal, well, not normal, what I call normal squad. Save. And then the tank squad, we got 15 more. There we go. So we're going to need a lot more stuff, I think, for this. Some tanks and artillery. Excellent. Thank you. We need this to keep rising. Oh, we're up to 40. The war has started. So we're going to get a bunch of stuff now. I think we're going to take Alaska and average popularity. Thank you. Second American Civil War. So we can start with this. I think I'm going to start with this. Actually, wait. Let's do this one as well, because then we can unlock the excavation 2 and get some more resources. It is November. It's close enough to 1937. Intervene in the U.S. Civil War. Activate Defense Plan 2. or support federal government. Defense scheme to deal with potential threats from America. We're gonna activate Defense Plan 2, but let's read this. Intervene in the U.S. Civil War. The United States have descended into civil war. Syndicalists are right on our doorsteps, while Huey Long rallies forces to oppose both. Chaos has overtaken our neighbors to the south. We are thus presented with two choices. First is to activate Defense Plan 2 and move to occupy a number of strategic locations, principally what? The New England region. The second is to move to siding with the federal government and working to join the war more directly. Now, activate Defense Plan 2. There we go. So, New England should join us, or we take it. I think they join us. They were talking about joining us. The occupation of New England. The outbreak of civil war has left the New England region lightly defended and vulnerable to occupation. If we strike first, we could close a weak point on our eastern flank and strengthen our position against an invasion from a hostile American power. All but abandoned by their government, we anticipate our New England cousins will welcome our intervention. I got hiccups. Seize New England. Ooh, the Panama Canal. The Civil War has erupted in the United States, tearing apart the last shreds of unity in the Union. This presents us with the opportunity to seize the strategically important Panama Canal for ourselves. There is very little that the U.S. government can do to stop us at this point. Seize the Panama Canal. Status of Alaska. With America falling apart, Alaska has become a dagger against our western flank. We should move to occupy the state now, before it can be militarized by a hostile power. Seize Alaska. Ooh, so they don't like us anymore because we took their stuff. Ooh, we got all of this. Okay. What do we get from Alaska, though? Oh, Kingdom of Canada. We're huge. Resource-wise, we got fuck all. We didn't even get a factory. Oh, we got some factories, I think. No, this is already a part. I actually don't know. We didn't. I think we got nothing from Canada. Alaska, I mean. And the Panama Canal, it's got nothing. So we just got some locations, basically. So we got 5 more naval dockyards. Let's go 1, 1, 1, and then 2. And with this, I think... yeah. So, let's fix our trade. We need Pacific States, give us 2. And we got 6 left. Oh, come on, wrong tab, wrong tab. Russian Republic. They will give us 5. And then we have what, 1 left? Yeah, we got 1 left. I'll leave that there. New England governors petition for independence right away. The Canadian occupation of New England has kept the area from falling into the hands of the CSA. Many New Englanders were resentful of the Canadian troops on New England soil. Finally, the 6 New England governors held a meeting with the Canadian Parliament to petition for independence. The Liberals in Ottawa agreed that the independent New England administered by New Englanders, while Canada offers protection against the CSA, would benefit both parties. Continue with military occupation. We gain a claim on Maine. Yeah, it's ours now. I'm sorry. It's just ours. Mine. Mine. And right now we need to get rid of this deficit of PP so I can start getting out of civilian economy and all of that. So, here's the thing. Do I want to start patrolling more southerly? I think so. You are the carriers. You are the... yeah, so. I'm gonna have you start moving further south into the Caribbean. Just to keep an eye on things. If we do get into a war, we're gonna annihilate those fleets. Yeah, so we got nice coverage on the east coast. And the west coast is just garbage, mostly. North Pacific. We don't even have full range everywhere. This thing doesn't give us that. Or maybe it's just the ships that are bad. No, wait, I got rid of the bad ships there. Social credit. Excavation 1 is done. Let's get this. We're just focusing on industry right now. Getting our country rolling. Because our military is going to have to be very high cost if we want to take everything here. I'm hoping we can like take all of America and maybe Mexico as well before we go after that, and we might get to take Greenland and Iceland and then just go from there. Implementing social credit. Social credit is an economic philosophy. Yeah, this was already said. He believes that the current economic system was designed to create a plutocracy through unnecessary scarcity, and that the workers needed to be freed from this system by bringing purchasing power in line with production. Douglas's reform program contains two main elements: a national dividend to distribute money equally to all citizens to bridge the gap between earning power and prices, and a price adjustment mechanism that would forestall the possibility of inflation. Now that we are in power, we can work to implement these ideas throughout the nation. However, critics have accused social credit of being syndicalist, and as such, it would perhaps be wise to moderate our plans lest they draw anger. Overhaul it. Overhaul. So we would get a bunch of infrastructure and 3 civilian factories. So no matter what we choose, we get Duplessis protests against social credit. Compromise and limit the scale of reforms. Give our citizens a national dividend. I don't want to do that. Overhaul the existing economic system. So no matter what, this is where I get civilian factory 1, 2, and 3. I need the civilian factories. Duplessis protests against social credit. Maurice Duplessis, the Premier of Quebec, has denounced the government's economic plans, saying that they are contrary to traditional Quebecois values, and has announced that he will do his utmost to prevent any implementation of social credit in Quebec. Well, that sounds like treason. Let's go here. Also, my troops are not on any borders right now. There we go. So, Anglo-French tensions is costing us a little bit, but we're gaining half every day. With this, we will make quite a lot. It's worth like 300 days of PP, essentially. Once I'm done with this, I kind of want to do Defense of the Realm and then Defense Scheme. What? Somebody died. Chesterton. British writer, whatever, died today in his exile in Ottawa at 62. A prolific author whose most known novel is certainly The Man Who Was Thursday. He was a devout Roman Catholic and a Christian apologist. 2 reasons that forced him to leave England and avoid persecution after the Syndicalist Revolution. Oh, fuck off! Even Canada has this, like, an old guy died, so we lose PP. Fuck. 1937. We can't do this one because it's not been unlocked yet. We can't take anything right here. I kind of want to take Field Hospital to have that available. But yeah. So what do I take after this? Do I start focusing on industry? Natural resources sounds good. Like going down here sounds really, really good. But right now the Civil War has already started, so I kind of want to do this. Yeah, this is what I want to do. So because the Civil War has started, I really need to do this. I can't focus on industry right now. Korea is rebelling. That's interesting. That usually doesn't last. But we are almost out of time. Actually, we're over time. So I'm just gonna... Oh, fuck. A Yankee rebellion. We decided to continue with military occupation instead of giving the New Englanders independence as they requested. Feeling like we backstabbed them and betrayed them, many throughout the region have risen up against us, claiming that they will throw our rule off like they did in 1776. No, blasted Yankees. Oh, so we didn't have to fight anything. Good. So even with extra 3% recruitable population, we did not get that much. Riots throughout New England. Okay. The Quebec provincial election. Maurice Duplessis, the Premier of Quebec, denounced the government's economic plan, saying that they were too contrary to traditional Quebec values, and announced that he will do his utmost to prevent any implementation of social credit in Quebec. As a result, his province has missed out on the investment other parts of Canada have seen, and Quebec is suffering economically as a result. Support for social credit has grown, and the French-Canadian branch of the Social Credit Party looks to make great gains in the Legislative Assembly, possibly even taking control from Duplessis and his Union Nationale. No. Let's get rid of her. This is costing me so much PP, but fuck her. She's trying to oppose me. Get rid of her. But let's try to finish this without anything else, and then we'll wrap it up, I think. So we got a lot of surpluses here. We can start training up some more dudes. Let's get some more infantry. Actually, let's just train our dudes right now. So I'm gonna do this and this, and we're gonna train 5 of you like this in upstate New York. There we go. I haven't even assigned you generals. Ooh, planning speed increase. Interesting. I'm gonna give you a field marshal. Oh, nice. I haven't seen this one. Is that new? Interesting. And then I want the panzer on you. Yeah. So, God save the king. God damn it. So, we will reign supreme. Right? Right? Okay, come on. Beautiful. Okay, let's start doing Defense of the Realm. So, are we good? We got 3 factories. We could technically import some more stuff. I think I'm going to import tungsten. Throughout the cities of New England, and there are major protests and riots protesting the occupation of Canadian forces in the region. In a number of cities, these protests have turned violent, and it looks like things are getting worse. It does look like these protests are not going to end. What? No. It does not look like these protests are going to end anytime soon. Let's read it properly. But yeah, I'm going to stop here. So, the United States Civil War has started. We are going to try to take what we can from that. I think we're going to ally the PSA, maybe? Or maybe the AUS, because I kind of like them. Yeah, they have the same ideology as we do. So maybe the AUS, most likely. But yeah, so I will see you guys in the next episode. But until then, see ya.